Sorry, I wasn't sure if I should just go ahead and start or if you were gonna.
Yeah, we'll give them a couple minutes to get in, and then I'll introduce you.
Can you remind me who goes after Seton Hall? I forgot, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh, I have too many things on my screen. University of Richmond is after Seton Hall.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Marin Virtual College Fair. We are excited that you're here. We are going to go ahead and get started. So just a few housekeeping announcements from me. We have a great panel and group of colleges for you tonight. So I would encourage you to ask questions throughout, be engaged. But don't worry, your cameras and microphones are turned off, so we can't see you or hear you. Hopefully you can see and hear us okay. If for some reason you can't or that changes, just send us a message using that Q&A button on your toolbar and we can help troubleshoot that with you. Speaking of the Q&A button, that's your best way to engage with our presenters this evening. So be sure to use that all throughout the session. It doesn't just have to be to the college that's presenting at the time. You're welcome to ask questions of anyone in particular or the group as a whole all throughout the session, and they'll be responding to those in the background as well. So be sure to keep those coming. Don't forget, this is just one of many different sessions happening this evening and this week. So be sure to check back on the StriveScan website where you signed up, look for any additional sessions you might be interested in. And then we're recording this session as well as all of the other sessions, and those will be posted on that same website within about a week or so. So be sure to check back there. Next, I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of what our schedule looks like for tonight. So we're at this top right-hand corner, session A10. So we have 6 colleges that you'll be hearing from tonight, hopefully. And so we are going to kick things off with Emerson College. You can take it away.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to share my screen. Just give me one sec. Sorry, this is always the tricky part, is the screen share. So my name is Amy Mitchell. I'm the Senior Associate Director of Admission for Emerson College. And I'm sort of the go-to person for any students coming from California. I live out here, I'm on the same time zone, and I'm also the first set of eyes on your application. So I'm the person that's here to help if you need anything at all. And just to go through a couple of quick facts about Emerson and do as much of a deep dive as we can in 6 minutes. So Emerson is located in the heart of Boston. We are right in the theater district, which is a pretty incredible place to be able to study. I am virtually sitting in one of Emerson's theaters right now. Because of our location, we've been able to purchase 3 of these gorgeous theaters that were built in the early 1900s and then rehabilitate them back to their former glory. And so we're really spoiled in having these incredible spaces for our students to be able to work in. Because of our campus location, it is an urban campus, but I always say it's sort of a best of both worlds urban campus because you're in the bustling heart of the city where everything is happening, but our campus itself is really teeny tiny. We have 12 buildings and a 2-block walking radius. So those two blocks are truly Emerson's 2 blocks. It feels like a true campus community. And I think because of that students get that best of both worlds feeling of being in a city and in an actual campus at the same time. We are a smaller school, about 3,800 students, which means that there was a lot of interactivity and connection with your faculty members, 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio. We have students coming from all over the place. California is actually our #1 state that we get students from, so we're very popular amongst California students. We have 5 residence halls. Many of them have gorgeous views of the Boston Commons Big Park, are built kind of above our building classroom space and are very apartment style, some really incredible housing options for students. We are a school that believes deeply in the liberal arts and in educating students as a whole. It's really important to us that students are getting that kind of big, deep overview in their education. So we ask students to take a variety of general education classes throughout their time, but we are having them space those out across their entire 4 years. If students come in with C's or better in all of their math classes, we actually will waive our math requirement, which is quantitative reasoning. And if they have up to 3 levels of a foreign language, we'll waive that requirement as well. We break our college across two different schools, the School of Communications and the School of Arts. So I'm just going to do a real quick rundown of the School of Communications. We have our business program, which is business for any creative economies. Every year they do a sort of Shark Tank things where students get funding to start their businesses. Last year, a student created a vegan leather out of mushrooms, and that's been used in costuming, fashion design industry. So all sorts of really fantastic things happening there. Communication sciences and disorders. This is for any student who is wanting to work with anybody with delayed speech. Then we have our entire communication studies program, very strong in the political arena. Those students will spend a semester in DC. Sports communication, which is essentially anything to do with sports that's not playing sports. We also have some of these global programs where students will actually spend 2 years studying abroad, their first 2 years, and then the rest of their program they'll finish at Emerson. And there are a couple of really great programs, one in Sydney, and then a couple in Switzerland as well. Very strong in journalism. We're consistently ranked as one of the #1 schools in journalism in the country, and incredibly well known in marketing as well. We also have a School of Arts. This is where you can get a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Comedy. You can also do a global program in Paris, where you actually will spend your 3 years studying in Paris, studying film art. Incredible, obviously, in theaters. You can see with our theater spaces, we're in the top 10 film schools in the country, so very strong in film, graphic design, photography, studio production, and then, of course, creative writing, writing literature, and publishing as well. We also do have a couple of really great interdisciplinary degree options where students can essentially build their own degrees, and that's something that is really unique to us. Those are our global programs with their beautiful campuses, just to kind of give you a sense of what those look like. And then we have a number of really unique minors, everything from podcasting to political polling to peace and social justice and everything in between. We actually have 2 other campuses besides our main Emerson campus. We have a campus in Los Angeles, which is right in the heart of Hollywood, where students will live in that building and do a really intense internship and hopefully get a job from that. And then we also own our own medieval castle in the Netherlands. So it's an actual castle with an inner and an outer moat, and students get to live in the castle, take classes for a semester, and then the goal of that is that they get comfortable and confident with travel. And then we have a number of other traditional study abroad options for students as well. We have a very busy campus, lots happening all the time, tons of student clubs and organizations, many activities that we call co-curriculars, which are professional activities for students. So things like getting a radio show, doing a live TV show, working on our stage, working in our marketing firm that's student run, lots of cool options there. We are D3 in sports, so we do have some sports culture as well at Emerson. We have over 900 different internships a year that we offer, and we are part of the Pro Arts Consortium, which means students can take classes at any of the other Pro Arts Consortium schools without having to apply. And that includes Berklee College of Music, which students really love. We are a school that requires both the FAFSA as well as the CSS profile. We are very generous with our scholarships. We actually offer them automatically to first-year students. They get automatic consideration, and those range from $5,000 to $20,000 a year. And they're stackable and they're renewable. We also have a really strong honors program that does require an additional essay, and then that is a half tuition scholarship for students as well. We are early decision this year as well as early action. So we did do a November 1st as well as a December 1st deadline to give students some extra time. And we are test optional. We have been since 2017, so students can apply test optionally as well. Looks like my time is up, so I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. And then just feel free to pop any questions in the Q&A for me.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, next up, it looks like Lisa's ready to go. So I'll turn over to Lisa with Seton Hall.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Lisa Hansen with Seton Hall University. So if you're not familiar with Seton Hall University, it is located in the East Coast as well. We are just outside of New York City, 14 miles away in South Orange, New Jersey. And I'm the Regional Admissions Assistant Director out here in California, in the Northern California area. So I will also be reading your applications this year and happy to receive them. But a little bit about Seton Hall. We are a leading Catholic university as well as a very welcoming and warm environment, offering a great education to students from all over the country. California is our 3rd largest out-of-state population. Our average class size is about 21 with a 14-to-1 student to teacher ratio. So your faculty are not only your teachers, they're your mentors. They really care about you. They do get to know you in class, and they want to really see you launch off to a great start in your career. So a little bit about our schools and colleges at Seton Hall University. Our arts and sciences is our largest and oldest school with the most majors. So majors like political science, computer science, history, philosophy, etc., are housed in this college. Our School of Communication and Arts offers a lot of wonderful programs as well. We also, for students interested in public relations or broadcasting, broadcast journalism, even visual performing arts, we have students that are working with the major TV networks and also performing on Broadway as well. And I'll get to internships on the next slide. But we also have a great radio station that's been ranked the #1 non-commercial radio station in the nation, was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as well. So you can work at the radio station whether or not you're in communication and arts. We have a wonderful School of Education and Human Services offering elementary ed, secondary ed, and special education. Our School of Nursing is the oldest in the state of New Jersey, very reputable. So when you're in that School of Nursing and you're out doing the practical experiences, you're probably going to bump into more Seton Hall alumni in the area. I'll stay on health sciences for a second. We also offer a lot of dual degree programs in health sciences. So we also have 6-year degree programs in physician assistant, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech and language pathology, as well as a 5-year program for athletic training. So the advantage of these are if you're in the dual degree program and you're maintaining the GPA requirement to move into the professional side of the program, you don't have to take the GRE and you don't have to reapply, you're automatically admitted. We also have a new medical school. We offer a joint degree program into medicine. It's a 4+3 or 7-year total program into medicine. We also offer dual degree program in law. So for the law program, it's a 7-year program as well. That program for your undergrad, you can choose either business, diplomacy and international relations, political science, or religion. And speaking of diplomacy, we've got a wonderful School of Diplomacy and International Relations with an exclusive alliance with the United Nations of America. So many of our students will go on to do internships with the United Nations, also working in embassies, either domestically or abroad. They can also study in Washington, D.C. for a semester and a lot of other opportunities. Our Spelman School of Business is very highly ranked too. It is AACSB accredited at both the undergrad and graduate levels. We have an award-winning business leadership program in our business program that's been ranked #1 in the country for 5 years in a row now. So here's a little bit more about our internships. Seton Hall has been ranked #4 in the country for offering internships to students. So on average, about 80 to 85% of our students will complete between 3 to 5 internships before they graduate. They're very prepared for their job once they launch. And we now have a 93% employment rate, and our mid-career earnings are 50% higher than the national average. So this slide really gives you an example or some examples to take a look at of various internships and then job opportunities that our students have enjoyed at Seton Hall. So what's new at Seton Hall? As I mentioned, we have a new medical school. That's part of our interprofessional health sciences campus. That is where all of our health professional students study and work together collaboratively in simulations. So not only our medical school students, but also PA, PT, OT, etc. They're all on this campus working together. We also have a leadership institute. Buccino Leadership Institute was started because of the success of our business leadership program being so successful for so many years. We now offer opportunities for leadership across all of our majors, so students can apply to this leadership program, be mentored by and get internships with top leaders in their industry. We have a great first gen program called Gen 1. We do offer lots of resources for those of you that are first generation. We now have over 150 clubs and organizations for fun. So lots of our students are very, very involved at Seton Hall. Besides their internships, they have a lot of fun on campus. Division I athletics, we're part of the Big East. So we play teams like Villanova, Creighton, etc. And then we also have a lot of club sports, intramural sports. And then again, we're only 14 miles from New York City. So our Student Activities Board does prepare or organize trips for students to go into the city and enjoy Broadway shows at very reduced rates. They can also go to professional athletic events, things like that. So it's a lot of fun for them being a student at Seton Hall. And lastly, I'll just share my Contact information here. If you have any more questions for me, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'd love to hear from you. So I'm going to pass it over now to my colleague, Heather at University of Richmond.
All righty, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Heather Selby. I am the admission officer from the University of Richmond in Richmond, Virginia. And just to try to do something a little bit different tonight, I am going to share my screen and show you all just a brief video that kind of highlights everything that encompasses a degree at the University of Richmond. So with that, we will go ahead and get started.
It starts within you. An idea, a passion, a desire to change the world, and a drive to challenge yourself. It starts within you, and it leads here to the University of Richmond. Located on a beautiful 350-acre wooded campus just minutes away from downtown Richmond, we are a private university that gives you the best of both worlds, all the economic, professional, cultural, and social resources of a capital city, coupled with the vibrant, diverse, and inclusive community of our suburban college campus. From pristine Atlantic beaches to the Blue Ridge Mountains to our nation's capital, our central location can readily connect you to world-class cultural, recreational, educational, and professional opportunities. But it's the opportunities available right here on campus that are truly impressive. The University of Richmond is home to 3 undergraduate schools: the School of Arts and Sciences, the Robbins School of Business, and the Jepson School of Leadership Studies. However, there are no direct entry programs for any of these schools. What does that mean for you? Well, there's no pressure to immediately declare your major. Once you enroll, you'll have time and access to explore more than 100 majors, minors, and concentrations. Our average class size is only 16 students, all taught by real professors, no teaching assistants. We're also committed to undergraduate research and mentorship opportunities. That means you'll get the kind of personal attention you need when narrowing down your choices. Can't decide on one major? No worries. More than 2/3 of our students pursue multiple areas of study. We admit the most talented, accomplished students. Then we do everything we can to ensure you can bring your talents here. That includes meeting 100% of demonstrated financial need for all admitted students. When you're not in class, well, that's where the vibrant community we mentioned really comes into play. Over 90% of our students choose to live right here on campus. We're also home to more than 180 student organizations, from academic, cultural, leadership, religious, and honor societies to fine and performing arts, service organizations, and Greek life. If you have an interest in it, chances are there's an organization here waiting for you to join. Searching for something a little more competitive? Look no further than our intramural athletics or the 17 teams of our NCAA Division I Richmond Spiders. The Richmond experience isn't limited to what you can do on campus, though. 67% of Spiders study abroad through more than 70 programs across 35 countries. And when it comes to internships or research projects, we won't just encourage you, we can help you fund them. The Richmond Guarantee ensures that every undergraduate is eligible to receive up to $4,000 for an unpaid or underpaid summer internship or faculty-mentored research project. And does it pay off? In short, yes. Every year, we host more than 150 career workshops and conduct more than 600 interviews with job recruiters right here on campus. And when you graduate, you'll join more than 51,000 Spiders living and leading in all 50 states and 95 countries around the world. From Wall Street to Hollywood Boulevard to near-Earth orbit, wherever you go, you'll find that Spiders are everywhere, and that's a good thing. Our interconnected web and career preparation helped 94% of our grads find employment within 6 months of graduation. So, what's your idea? Your passion? Bring us your dream and we'll help you achieve it. There's no telling just how far it will take you. but we can tell you where it starts. It starts within you, and it thrives at Richmond.
Alrighty, so hopefully you found that video to be interesting and a creative way of getting an inside glimpse at the University of Richmond. I can tell you that as an alumna of the school, that the sense of community that is fostered on our campus is truly something that most of our students really say stands out about the university and why they choose to remain there for 4 years. For those of you who are seniors and thinking about applying to Richmond, we do offer early action, early decision, regular decision, and early decision 2. So if you're thinking about that EA or early decision deadline, that is coming up on November 1st. In addition to all of your regular components in the Common App or Coalition application, we do require 1 supplemental essay. You just pick one of our 3 prompts that we offer and write about a 650-word essay on that given prompt. If you have specific questions about our application review process and sort of want to see an inside look as to how we determine who's admitted at Richmond, I would strongly recommend that you register for some of our virtual information sessions. We do a deep dive in the admission and aid session, and we do provide a live tour of campus that gives students a nice inside glimpse as to what our campus community is like and how you can get there and be a Richmond Spider yourself. So again, if you have any other information or questions about how the school works, you are more than welcome to check out our contact admission counselor page on our website, and we're happy to help you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Heather. Okay, we will turn it over to Sam with the University of Alabama.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sam Foster with the University of Alabama, and I've got a little presentation I'm going to walk you through here. I'm actually from Alabama originally. I went to the University of Alabama, and now I live in San Francisco. So I'm out here on the West Coast with y'all in your time zone if you ever need anything. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into this. I know this is a little bit small, so I'll zoom in on it just a tad here. But the University of Alabama has an enrollment of about 38,000 total students. So it's a pretty big school, and you can see some pictures on here of what the campus and surrounding area look like. But like I said, it's a pretty large school. And my favorite thing about the University of Alabama is in this 38,000 students, about 60% of our students are actually from out of state. That's the second highest percentage in the country for public schools. So you'll meet people from Alabama, you'll meet people from the South, but also from the rest of the country. California is actually in our top 10 states that students come to UA from. And I'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a minute. This is some information about a couple of our students that we like to highlight. This is Caitlin. She's doing some really cool things on our campus. And she kind of talks about what she's planning on doing after graduation. And then the same for Joel here. He talks a little bit about his experience in the Honors College. And I will be happy to send you the link to this if you'd like to come back and look at these later on. Just shoot me an email and I'll pass along this presentation to you. But here's some more information about where our students are going after graduation. So I mentioned that California is in our top 10 states students come from, but also in our top 10 states that students go to after graduation. So if you love California, but you just want to try something new for a few years, you can come to UA and then come right back to California 4 years later, and you'll be amidst a large alumni base out here in the Bay Area as well. So you can see we've got students all over the country. Out here in California and New York, DC. Andrew here is actually from New Jersey and then came to UA, and now he's sticking around in Alabama because he got a great job there. So that's exciting for Andrew. Jeremy and I were actually friends at UA, and now he's over in North Carolina doing nursing. And then you can see our top 10 cities that students go to after graduation down here on the bottom right. We've got some places around the South, but again, also throughout the rest of the country as well. Along with this, we do have the second highest, or this number 2 ranked for, University of Alabama is number 2 in the country for internship placement. So these are what our students are doing after graduation. But if you're looking for some of this kind of real world experience while you're still a student, we're really big on finding you internships and getting that real world experience while you're still a student on our campus. A couple more students we like to highlight here. We've got Jane and Matthew. And again, I'll send you this presentation if you'd like to see it later so you can come back and read more about them when you got more time. Here's some more information about Tuscaloosa, where UA is located, and the surrounding area. So we are in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It's a town of about 100,000 people, which I think is a great size. It's big enough that there are events and there are shops and restaurants, things going on, stuff to do, but it's not so big that you have to worry about traffic and things like that. We're also right in the middle of everything in the South. So if you're not super familiar with these states, We're kind of right in the middle of a lot of great places around the South. So we're about an hour away from Birmingham, which is the largest city in Alabama. If you'd like to come for a visit, we would love to have you. And you can fly into Birmingham, and then it's just about an hour down the freeway to Tuscaloosa. We're also about 3 hours away from Atlanta, 3.5 to Nashville. It's about 4 hours to New Orleans, about 4.5 to the Gulf Coast down here, and then about 4.5 also up to the mountains in Tennessee. So again, right in the middle of everything. If you do end up being a student at UA, it's very easy to get around the South if you want to go on weekend trips or spring break trips or things like that. Again, we'd also love to have you on our campus. This is a link over here, gobama.ua.edu/visits for all of our campus visits. On that same website, we do have virtual campus tours if you want to get to know UA a little bit better from the comfort of your own home. And then we also have virtual information sessions on there from our different departments on campus. And those are actually live with our faculty staff on our campus. So feel free to sign up for one of those, and you can hear more about our College of Engineering, our Honors College, things like that, and get some more information about UA. This next part right here is about campus life. You can see we have over 600 student organizations on our campus. So that's a club for pretty much anything you can think of. If there is something you're interested in that we don't offer, you can start it yourself pretty easily. We also have the largest Greek system in the country. So if you are interested in fraternity or sorority life, we have a great setup for you there. Because it is the largest Greek system in the country, a lot of people associate UA with our Greek system, but it's actually only about 1/3 of campus that's Greek. So if that's not your thing, totally fine. You'll actually be in the majority of students, and you can still join one or multiple of our 600 student organizations. So we do have a little bit of something for everybody there. This is a list of our majors here, and I'll zoom in on this page a little bit more as well. You can see here we've got several different colleges on our campus, lots of different majors to choose from. Our two largest colleges are Arts and Sciences, because it has a vast array of different majors to choose from. Also, our College of Business is, those two colleges are like 1 and 2 in terms of number of students, but we've got a lot of great business majors as well. A couple of our other really popular programs are in communications. We have the #1 public relations program in the country. And we also have a great College of Engineering with a lot of internships, but also a co-op program. Again, if you're looking for some real world experience, we're happy to help you find that in our College of Engineering. We have a career center on our campus also for the entire university, but we have 3 smaller career centers that are specifically for the College of Business, College of Communications, and College of Engineering. So if you're in one of those 3, there's actually a career center in the buildings where you're taking your classes. But again, anyone can go to the larger career center on our campus. Here's some scholarship information. I'm actually going to skip this for a second and come right back to it. We can talk about the application really quickly, and then we'll hit scholarships. So this is the link to our application down here, gobama.ua.edu/apply. Our application is very, very simple. There are no essays, no letters of recommendation. Students tell me it takes 15-20 minutes to fill out. So very quick process. We will need your transcript. And then for our seniors, we are test optional this year. So if you have a test score, feel free to send it in. If you don't, that is totally fine. And then we'll get you, you'll hear back once we have received all that in about 2 weeks. And then really quickly, I know I'm about to run out of time here, but this is our scholarship information. These are scholarships based on GPA and test scores. If you have a test score, you can qualify for one of these. If you don't, we have other scholarships that you can apply for about the same amounts for students who don't have a test score. But I think that's all my time. And thank you so much for listening and for being here tonight.
Great, thank you, Sam. Okay, and unfortunately, Spelman College was unable to join us this evening, so we are going to move straight over to the University of New Hampshire.
All right, awesome. Hi everyone, this is Nia Quach, and I'm your admission counselor from the University of New Hampshire. So UNH is a public flagship research university in the state of New Hampshire, which is in the northeast region of the country. I would like to highlight for you tonight some of the reason why students choose the University of New Hampshire, and we'll focus on the 3 main aspects of the university, which is our academics, our communities, and the student outcomes. So I will start off by talking a little about our academics. So UNH offers over 100 different majors for you to choose from across 5 different colleges, from the liberal arts to the sciences, to health related programs such as nursing, OT, to engineering, computer science, as well as business. One of the things that truly distinguish UNH is our focus on research. Regardless of your major, students are encouraged, and I think more importantly, they have the opportunity to do research during their 4 years with the University of New Hampshire. And at UNH, you do so at a top tier research university, as we are one of just 20 land, sea, and space grant status institutions in the country, and one of just 3 public tier 1 research university in New England. So here are the 5 colleges within the University of New Hampshire. All programs at UNH are direct entry, including nursing, of course, all the engineering program, computer science, business, which is something that I think is really awesome, especially since you are coming from California, and none of them are impacted. All right, so we also have over 50 different research centers and institutes on and around campus. I thought I would highlight a few of them for you today. So first off is our Interoperability Lab, or IOL, at UNH, which is actually one of the world leading testing facilities for data and networking products. It's employed many of our current undergraduate students, especially those in the field of computer science as well as engineering. This is also where the first Apple iPhone was tested by our very own UNH student before being released to the market. Here are some more images of different research facilities, such as our exercise science lab. Here's a study on the effect of delayed active recovery following a 5K race on performance 24 hours later. We also have the Hubbard Center for Genomics study at the bottom right corner there, which is currently running over 4,000 COVID tests daily. We have the Organic Dairy Research Farm, aka amazing ice cream on campus. And then, of course, there are also many amazing facilities available to our liberal arts students as well, such as the Anthropology Dig at the Great Bay Estuary in New Hampshire, and our Center for Research on Child Development. So the second aspect of UNH that I would like to highlight is our community. So we're currently sitting at around 13,000 undergraduate students, which is just making us a larger mid-sized institution. The nice thing about being a mid-sized of our size is that we are big enough to offer you the diverse experiences, the opportunity, the school spirit that you want, but we'll also have the tight-knit and personal as well as supportive community with a lot of school spirit. Our students really embrace all the opportunity that our location, our residential campus, and our size offer. So the nice thing about UNH is our students actually guarantee housing for all 4 years, and the vast majority, 96 to be exact, live on our Durham campus, which has a very classic New England college feel with 27 different residence halls and 3 award-winning dining halls throughout our campus. Our students also keep very busy, both on and off campus, on the weekend, as well as during the week, whether it's going to a Division I athletic event, football, ice hockey, basketball, or participating in one of our 250 different student clubs, or simply exploring the area around campus. All right, so with that, it's important to highlight that our location is a huge draw for our students, as it's offered them a lot of opportunity, and it's a huge attraction for California students as well. So whether you want to get a coffee in Durham, go for a walk on the beach, as we are only 20 minutes away from the Atlantic Ocean, go skiing in the majestic White Mountain, or head on to Boston, which is an hour south of UNH campus, for an internship, to shop, or to go to a Red Sox or a Celtic game with your friend. Finally, regarding our location, I also like to just highlight that our Durham campus is very easy to get to. There are direct flights daily from most major airports in California to Boston. And since we are only an hour north of Boston, there's easy access to and from the Boston Logan Airport, either by bus or by the Amtrak train, which stop right on campus. So the third aspect of UNH that I want to highlight for you today is our student outcome. So it's not just about what students experience while enroll at UNH, but also what they achieve after they graduate that we're really proud of. What you see in front of you are UNH retention and graduation rate from our class of 2019. You can see that overall, the vast majority of graduates reported that they are employed in graduate school, and if they are working, the majority are working in the field that they study at UNH. So I think these results really speak to the value of the UNH education. So with that, I do want to just wrap up the presentation with some application requirement. We have the early action deadline of November 15th. We're also a test optional university. And then also want to mention that we provide quite a bit of financial support to our incoming students, including those from California, in the form of Needs Day Aid and Merit Scholarship. And with that, I do want to quickly share a story of our recent graduate, Charlie Nisham, who is not only a UNH graduate, but he is also one of SpaceX's newest engineer. So when I was learning about his story of kind of journey from UNH to SpaceX, one of my favorite part of his story was how life, his quote on how life is about the moment. And one of Charlie's big moments, as you can imagine, was meeting Elon Musk when he was a senior at UNH as part of UNH robotic team. And so whatever the moment will be for you, I hope that UNH can help you prepare for it. And this is my contact information. I'm also based on the same time zone as you, West Coast, Best Coast. So please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know how I can help you through the college search process. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay, well, we have a few extra minutes, so I'm going to ask our presenters if you want to hop back on screen. I would love to first, I just want to say thank you for the Q&A. If you have questions, continue to keep submitting those. We still have a few minutes for our reps. If you have time in the next few minutes to answer some of those, that would be great. But in the meantime, let's kind of wrap things up. And if you all want to take another minute or so and share something exciting that students can look forward to on your campus, a favorite tradition that happens each year, either in a COVID world or in a post-pandemic world, whatever that looks like. Just take one more minute or so and share something exciting that students can look forward to. And so we'll just go in the same order that we started, so we can kick things off with Emerson.
Absolutely. So one of the big, it's sort of our big campus tradition, and this is one of the many ways you'll know that Emerson is a bit of a quirky place. We have something that we call the Evie Awards every year. We would have liked to have called it the Emmy Awards, but that clearly was probably not going to happen. But what it is it's a huge award, so really very much like the Oscars or the Emmys. Students get dressed up, they walk a purple carpet, there's hosts, there's presenters, there's awards that are given out in every single major across all of our different genres, and students really get to experience what an award show is like. It's the largest multi-camera student award show in the world. So something really cool for students to be able to take advantage of. Thanks.
Awesome. Okay, we will go next to the University of Richmond.
All right. Well, as an alumna, my personal favorite tradition for Richmond students is for our junior women. It's called Ring Dance, and it's when junior women are presented with their class ring. It has the Richmond shield on it and their class year that they graduate in engraved on the inside of the ring. It's a big ceremony that is meant to recognize the accomplishments academically of women and sort of be a big pillar of just excitement and support. And students, families, and friends get to fly in from across the country and the world to support our junior women. And of course, all of the men are also invited as well. It's hosted at a big hotel in downtown Richmond. Everyone gets really excited. It's a really fun and special event.
Awesome. Okay, University of Alabama.
Sure. So we do have an event at the University of Alabama right when school starts every year. It's most of the events are for freshmen, but anyone is welcome to go. But it's called Get On Board Day. And it basically helps students to get to know those 600 clubs that I mentioned earlier. If you read all those on a website, it could be pretty tedious, but to actually get to meet people who are in those clubs, maybe get some free stuff from them too. So it's kind of like this huge college fair, but it's for our clubs. We used to have it in our student union, but now it's too big. So we have it outside, and it's for 2 whole days, and you could just walk through, get to know the clubs a little bit better, and of course, grab some free stuff too.
Awesome, thanks. Okay, and then the University of New Hampshire.
Absolutely. So there, oh my goodness, there are so many awesome traditions. This is, of course, all before COVID, because it's all about the gathering. But one of my favorite thing is, of course, being a Division I public flagship, homecoming is a big part of who we are. And so with homecoming, there's, parade down Main Street. Each of the resident hall, for example, would put together a flow. And I used to be a hall director in the international dorm. And so all of the students from the dorm would, join the parade with the flag from their country, wrap around them and walk, down Main Street as part of the celebration of homecoming, which is just something that you really don't see, in a lot of, different campus cultures, and so to see such a diversity and a celebration of differences at UNH at homecoming is something that is very near and dear to my heart. So.
Awesome, thanks so much. Okay, well, with that, I think that's most of our time for this evening. So I'm going to share my screen one last time here. And just wanted to say to our students, thank you so much for joining us. To our presenters, thank you as well. I know we still have a few questions that we're working on answering. So if you ask a question, stick around for a couple seconds and you'll see that answer pop up. But to the students, when you close this screen, there will be a link to a quick 4-question survey. If you don't mind taking a minute to fill that out for us, we'd really appreciate any feedback that you have. Also, don't forget, this is just one of many sessions being offered, so check that website where you signed up. Sign up for any additional sessions you might be interested in, and then the session recordings will be available on that website within about a week or so. So again, thank you for being here. Have a great evening. I'm going to leave this up for a couple minutes until we get those last questions answered, and then we will see you in the next session. So thanks, everyone.